Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Bree, and I am coming at you guys from my boyfriend's family's lake house. We are spending a week out here, so if my background looks a little different, that is why. I finally have some reading updates for you guys. June has been one of the slowest reading months for me, and I mean, I have been traveling a lot, so that's probably one of the bigger reasons why. And also, I spent almost the entire month reading Jurassic Park, which you guys, I finished Jurassic Park finally earlier today. Today, by the way, is June 30th, so if I hadn't finished it today, it would have gone on into July, and I would have felt very unaccomplished if I had done that. Because I started this in the first week of June when I was in Florida, and yeah, this took me the full month. Like, what am I even doing? I don't ever read that slow. I just haven't been reading as much as I usually do. And quite honestly, you guys, you know what's funny? I read more than half of this in the past 36 hours. So I could have read this in like 3 days. I could have read it in 2 days. I just, you know, it is what it is. We all have faster reading months and slower reading months, and it's fine. I don't need to beat myself up about it. Anyway, we're here today because I finished Jurassic Park. And I'm not even going to tell you that it was a slow read. Like, it wasn't. It was really, really good and really, really interesting, and I actually loved every second of it. Having been a huge fan of the movie since I was a very small child, like, it came out the year that I was born, 1993, so I remember at least being obsessed with it when I was around 10 or 11, and I went into my dinosaur phase. Back then, if I had known this was a book, I probably would have read it when I was that young, just because that is the kind of kid that I was, and I can't believe that I waited until I was 32 to read this book. What am I even doing? I guess that's on brand for me, because last year I read Jaws for the first time, so, you know. Anyway, this was actually quite different from the movie that we all know and love. Like, there's some characters completely taken out, and a lot of the characters are really different in the movie compared to the book. And honestly, I really liked the changes they made. I don't want to give any spoilers if anybody has seen the movie and wants to read the book, so I'm not going to give any spoilers, but like, you're going to notice some things that are really different between the book and the movie, which I guess, I mean, is usual, but there's also so much more in the book than what made it to the movie, which makes sense because the movie had a time constraint of like an hour and a half, and you're not going to fit all of this into that. So what I noticed is that a lot of things that came from this book ended up in the second and third movie as well, which is super interesting. My boyfriend and I just watched the second Jurassic Park, The Lost World, last night. I've seen it before, but it was never my favorite. I was always a really big fan of the first and the third one, so the second one was just never one that I rewatched. So watching it last night almost felt like watching it for the first time. Even a lot of the stuff in this book, they never explicitly state a lot of it in the movie, but then you'll hear it in the second movie and even the third movie, because the third movie does not exist as a book. Everything in the third movie was either brand new or it came loosely from the first book, maybe the second book. I haven't read the second book yet. And actually, not gonna lie to you guys, the way the first book ended, I have no idea how the second one's gonna go. Like, the second movie can't be a direct adaptation from the book. If you've read the books, you know what I mean. If not, I'm not going to say anything. Don't worry. But yeah, I really want to get my hands on the second book now because I'm very, very curious what the second book is even about with the way that this one ended. Anyway, super, super awesome. I really, really liked Ian Malcolm's character in the book. He wasn't my favorite in the movie. He was cool, but he wasn't my favorite. I didn't really care that much about him, but in the book, I like him a lot more. He is much more of a character, but also, you know, movie Ian is also a really big character, just not in the same way. Like, you know, the constant one-liners are not really present in his character in the book. His character in the book is a lot more intellectual, I would say. And he goes on a lot of, like, really scientific monologues because he's a mathematician and he has all these theories. Anyway, finished Jurassic Park today. That makes 4 books in June, you guys. That's not a lot for me, but it's okay. It's fine. We can make up for it. I'm not going to go over a full June recap or anything right now. We'll do that later. What I am going to do, however, is tell you what else I am currently reading, because I actually remembered this time to include my audiobooks and my ebooks, which I don't do a lot because they're not physically in my hands. I'm still listening to The Tale of the Body Thief. I listened to a couple of hours of that a couple of days ago, and I want to say I maybe only have 3-ish hours left, so not too much, and it's super interesting. I don't want to talk too much about it because if you guys haven't read the previous books, I feel like almost anything in a fourth book could be a spoiler. You know what I mean? If you've not kept up with the series. Anyway, it's really interesting. I'm still totally obsessed with the series. I have not found the point where everybody's like, they start going downhill. You don't want to read all of them. If that point exists, I've not found it yet, which I'm really happy about. Also, okay. I posted something on Instagram a couple of weeks ago, and it was like watery ocean horror recommendations, and I asked people in the comments to recommend to me anything that I missed or didn't know about. Okay, somebody in the comments recommended Jellyfish Bloom by J.J. Walker. It is a horror novella that I had not heard of before. So somebody on Instagram recommended that to me, and I immediately went to go look it up because I love me some ocean horror. We all know that. It is not out yet. It comes out next month, I think at the end of next month. However, it was available on NetGalley, so I went into NetGalley and immediately requested it yesterday. I think all of this happened yesterday. And I got approved for it. So I have that on my Kindle, and I'm probably going to start that tonight. I probably won't finish it tonight. It's only about a little over 100 pages, but let's be realistic at this point. But yeah, so I'm probably going to start that tonight. That might end up being the first book I read for July. And novel-wise, like physical book-wise, I brought 3 more physical books with me apart from Jurassic Park. These do not have dust jackets on them because I don't like to travel with my dust jackets. Actually, I don't keep the dust jackets on books as I read them either because they annoy me and I also don't want to mess them up. We have The Fiction Writer by Gillian Cantor. This one is a kind of retelling of Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, so super interested in that. I don't know if that's one I want to read right now just yet though. Also this one, okay. Look at this gorgeous cover underneath the dust jacket of this one, you guys. This is Headlights by CJ Lead, which I'm super looking forward to because I hear it is related to The Shining in some matter. It's not like an adaptation. I don't think it's based upon, maybe inspired by. I haven't figured that out yet. I'll figure it out when I read it. But The Shining, you guys, one of my all-time favorite books ever. And just look at how pretty. I actually cannot get over how pretty this book is. And it's an aardvark copy, so it's got that, really nice buttery cover. I also brought with me Summer's Never Over by Darby Bozeman. This is a book of the month pick, and it is a thriller that has something to do with a summer camp, and I think someone died at a summer camp in the past, and then the survivors end up going back years later to the camp and maybe figure out what happened to that person. I don't actually know much about it, but summer camp thriller sounds super cool for summer, obviously. I also ended up buying on my Kindle, so I have these in ebook format, Whalefall by Daniel Kraus, which I really, really want to read before the movie comes out. Scuttler's Cove by Nick Cutter. I haven't read anything by Nick Cutter before. And then I also grabbed The Hacienda by Isabel Cañas and Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. I have a TBR going right now, you guys. I'm not sure which of these physical books I'm going to pick up next quite yet. I'm going to decide that tonight because once I finish a book, I can't actually go that long without starting another one because, that's just how it is. But yeah, we are at the lake house for the week, so I'm going to try and do a little lake house weekly vlog for you guys and bring you on some of the fun stuff that we're going to do and also keep you updated on what I'm reading. July starts tomorrow. Here is to hoping that I don't take a month to read the next book that I'm reading. Yeah, today was Book of the Month day, and tomorrow is going to be Aardvark Day, and I'm so excited. I already picked my Book of the Month stuff, and I got a free add-on because July is my birthday month. So I'm getting 3 books in that box, which I'm excited to open with you guys whenever it comes in. And tomorrow I'll get to pick my Aardvark books. I don't know if Aardvark does like a birthday month thing. I've only had it for about a year, so I don't remember if anything happened last year or if I even had entered my birthday at that point. Anyway, we will find out. All right, yeah, that is all I've got for you guys right now. My boyfriend and I are going to go get dinner here in a little while, maybe go on a little grocery run because we ran out of coffee and creamer today, so can't let that stand. We need some of that for morning. And yeah, I'll check back in with you guys later. I hope it's not too loud in here. We have the AC and a bunch of fans going. I wanted to do a quick update because I finished Jellyfish Bloom by J.J. Walker. I had an advanced copy that I got to read on my Kindle, which was really, really cool. I think it comes out I'll have to check the exact date. It comes out later this month, at the end of this month. Okay, I'll tell you guys about it really quick because I hadn't heard about it until someone on Instagram recommended it to me. I also am sorry if you can hear power tools in the back. There is some deck reconstruction going on outside. Okay, so Jellyfish Bloom is about this couple that lives in a kind of a foresty coastal town called Shiver. And one night, the husband comes home in the middle of the night and the wife is like, hey, where have you been? And he's like, no, I didn't go anywhere. I've been here. What are you talking about? But she can kind of smell the ocean on him and heard a door close somewhere in the house, like the outer door of the house. And then the next morning they find out that one of their friends is missing, a friend that he used to date. And so the story goes on. I think that very night, actually, they have kind of a crazy thing happen in their house where they have like an ocean water flood inside their house that makes no sense. And as soon as it happens, everything disappears like it never happened at all. And so they keep having these instances that happen in their house as if the ocean is trying to get to them or is trying to haunt them. It's a novella. I think it was 111 pages. It was a really, really cool. If you're at all into like sea ocean horror, 100% grab that one when it comes out. I gave it four stars, I want to say. And I really enjoyed it. I went through it really fast. It was really, really cool. Now I am reading Summer's Never Over by Darby Bozeman. It was my book of the month pick for June. It is kind of a summer camp thriller. This group of girls were camp counselors 5 years prior, and there was a fire and one of them ended up getting killed. And so 5 years later, the other girls kind of end up back at that camp, reliving memories, maybe figuring out what happened to their friend. And I don't know much about it other than that, but it's really good so far. I'm enjoying it. I'm not very far in. I'm maybe 50 pages in, but I'm liking it. I'm hoping it's going to be a quick read. I love those thrillers that just suck you in, then you can't put it down. Oh, also, my boyfriend and I got a couple clips of the theater we went to. We went to a historical theater last night to go watch Backrooms, and it was so cool. I really liked the movie. I don't know a ton of the source material, if I'm being honest. I looked up like the very first creepypasta story and I think it might have been the original short YouTube film by Kane Parsons, but I have since figured out that there's like a whole series, so I don't know if I saw the first one or just one of them. I thought the movie was really cool though. I'm still kind of processing my thoughts on it. The ending really threw me. Like I just sat there and I was like, but yeah, I liked it. I might have more thoughts on that later, but I did enjoy it. And yeah, I have spent the day reading. I finished Jellyfish Bloom. I started Summer's Never Over. Had a couple of chiladas just because we're still at the lake house and I'm on vacation and I'm having a great time. So I'll check in with you guys later. Hey guys, this is Bree coming at you from 2 days after that last clip that I filmed that you may have noticed. I accidentally hit the slow-mo button on my camera before I filmed that, so it filmed in slow-mo with no audio, so literally no way to recover that. No way to come back from that, which is tragic actually because the lighting was so good in that clip. We had like the natural lighting coming in at me. My makeup looked good. I liked my outfit. You know what? It's fine. There's nothing we can do about it now. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just going to give you guys my quick reading updates that I gave you guys in that clip that I ruined. I guess the upside is that now that I'm home, I can give you my reading updates with the dust jackets on the books. And, you know, they're so much prettier this way. You can actually see the cover rather than just, you know, the hardcover that doesn't have anything on it. So I finished Summer's Never Over, and God, I wish that I could remember everything I said in the clip that I made 2 days ago. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is at this point, you guys. So this one is a thriller. We have our main character, her name is Greer, and she was a camp counselor at a camp that her family owns. So Greer and a couple of her friends are camp counselors at camp this one particular summer, and there is a fire that ends up killing one of her friends. And so 5 years later, Greer ends up having to go back to the camp because her mother has died and her family owns the camp, so that's where they're having the services and all that. She hasn't been back since the fire that killed her friend. And so she goes back along with the rest of the counselors from that year, and they all end up kind of, you know, getting thrown back into the past and learning that the story that they thought might not quite be what happened. This was really, really good, you guys. I think I ended up giving this 4 stars. I really loved it. It's kind of back and forth between the past and the present. And so we're seeing what happened that summer from the beginning as we're watching the present time from the beginning. The dual timeline like that was actually really cool in this one. I liked it. It was really well done. And I also really liked the ending. I really liked the twists and all that stuff. I feel like I've read a lot of thrillers, like newer thrillers recently, where the twists are just out of control. Like they just keep twisting and twisting and twisting until it's a huge jumble and it's not realistic at all. And you're like, what the hell is going on? This would never happen. This was not like that. I really liked this one, and I thought that it felt realistic. The characters felt authentic. We have a lot of flawed characters in here, which I really loved. I love that in a book. So all that to say, you guys, perfect summer thriller, perfect summer vibes, just amazing summer vibes. Yeah, definitely if you're into thrillers, if you're into summer vibey thrillers, camp vibes, lake vibes, pick this up because it was fantastic. The only thing that kind of bugged me about it, and this is a very minor thing, the author at times told a little more than I would have liked. You know those books you read where the author says something that you didn't really need them to explain, like things that could have been left for the reader to infer? This author did a little bit of telling more than the reader needs. Like the reader could have inferred a lot of things that were told to you. But honestly, it was a minor thing. It wasn't like beating you over the head with it. It just is something that I noticed. But yeah, even besides that, I loved this. This was so great. All right, and after that, I started The Fiction Writer by Gillian Cantor, which is really, really good so far. How far am I? Maybe like a third-ish, about a third of the way in. This one is kind of a loose retelling of Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, but also it has to do with, like, the characters in here are talking about Daphne du Maurier and Rebecca all the time. Because the idea here is the main character is a writer who's kind of down on her luck. Her career isn't going so great. And she gets hired for this write-for-hire job by this millionaire man that lives out in Malibu. When he gets our main character in a meeting with him to talk about what the job is, he says, Daphne du Maurier stole my grandmother's story. My grandmother's story is Rebecca. And so we have like all these layered things going on. Like this might be a retelling. It might just be, you know, like it's a retelling of a retelling of a retelling. So it's really interesting. It's very layered. I'm not very far in yet, so I don't know how much of an actual retelling it's going to be, but it's really cool so far. I'm really enjoying it. I'm also picturing the millionaire man as Henry Cavill, so that's always fun. So I'm having a good time. In the middle of that, while we were at the lake house, we ended up watching The Birds, the Alfred Hitchcock movie. I'd never seen it before, which is, I am a huge horror fan. I don't know why I'd never watched it before, but we watched it, and in the credits, it's like based on The Birds by Daphne du Maurier, and I'm like, what? I didn't know it was a book. I didn't know Daphne du Maurier wrote it. It's a short story, so it was only about 40 pages, I think. So that night, I got it on ebook and read it on my phone. So I read that too. That one, it comes in a collection. I didn't read the whole collection. I only read The Birds so far, but it was really, really good, especially, so if you like the movie, definitely go read that. If you like du Maurier's writing, definitely go read that. It was a lot darker, in my opinion, which is interesting because the movie itself is already pretty dark, but it's very different too. We don't have any of the same characters. The short story is based on this family in this little town that is, you know, being attacked by birds. And yeah, it was really good. Like, if you guys are interested in any of that, definitely go check it out. Besides that, I am still listening to The Tale of the Body Thief. It's getting out of hand, that story. Oh my god. But I'm loving it. I really need to get my hard copy, you guys, to match my first 3 books in that series. Yeah, that is basically what I said in my little clip that I filmed the other day that I tragically ruined by filming it in slow-mo, so there was no audio. I couldn't even just speed it up and make it work. I think I'm going to send you guys back to Bree from 2 days ago to say thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for staying to the end. Thank you for joining me on my nice lake weekend vlog, and I will let her take it from here.